Okay, here we are back inside MatrixGold once again. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate all the support, all the comments. Please share the videos. It really help me out a lot. And let's get going on this thing. Today, what we're going to do is I haven't done a lot with princess cuts and pear shapes and stuff like that. So today, I kind of combine those together and make a little something. So we'll get a ring rail, and this should be a very easy one for ring resizers. So I'm not going to really worry about parametric history too much, and we'll just get moving on here. So let's go ahead and we'll just grab a gemstone, and we'll change this one to a princess cut here, and we'll take it, hold down shift to a 4 millimeter, a quarter carat around there, something like that, and we'll drag it up, and we will drag it over here to the side, maybe not so high, somewhere around here perhaps, and then we'll just take that. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that stone and go to a gem offset. And let's see, I want to take this above my stone slightly, around there, and then I want to take it in just well, we'll take it out actually, and we'll take a 0.7 should be fine. That gives us lots of rail there to work with, and then we'll just go ahead and enter. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab a go back to my tools and grab a outside ring rail, and we'll change this, of course, go to my favorite Euro shank, and we'll of course make it that 2.5. I like meaty shanks, and give the customer something. I'm not going to worry about the top right now. We'll deal with that later. And then I'm going to hit enter. Now I'm going to go grab that ring rail and go to my profile placer, and I want to just get a just a square like this one out there. So I think way down here at the bottom somewhere, there's a square one, maybe. Yeah, right here. We'll take that, and let's see. We want to drag that over here to our quad. And then I'll hit this, and then I want to take this, well, first of all, I want to snap it to my outside ring rail. That's really the only reason why I got it there. And then I'll take this down to like a square around the 2.5 as well. Okay, something like that. And then we'll just go ahead and hit enter. Now, what I want to do is, before I do anything else, I want to, those will be really sharp edges, so I don't really want them real sharp. So what we're going to do is fillet those real quick. So we'll go here to clean up, and we'll fillet those. We'll fillet this curve here, enter, around a 0.5 millimeter should be fine, and then we'll hit that, and we'll go down here, right click, bring it back, and we'll just take the 0.5 there too. All right, and now what we want to do is we want to go to our surface, and we're going to do a profile sweep from this one to this one here, and we want to turn off our automatic seam over here in our dynamic commands, turn that off, and then we'll probably want to drag this top one around to the other side there, so we get a nice flow going on like that, right? Yeah, okay, and let's go up here. There we go, and there we go. All right, and we want to maybe adjust it. We want to take this down a little so it's kind of coming straight down, and then we want to bump this up so it kind of goes to the outside of our rail there. Something like that should be fine. Let's see, that stone come through here. Maybe a little bit more here, not that much. Put it back where it was, didn't I? Something like that should be fine though. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and check that out. So let's go ahead and take that, and we'll just cap it right away for right now. And I'm going to go ahead and check this out here. Make sure our stone's not going to be and then I want to do a little manipulation here. I want to take that girdle thickness and I want to make it thicker, and then I'll go to placement and then drag it back up because I want the straight edges, and then I want to bring it in just slightly, maybe a little bit more, something like that, so we have some nice metal going into it. And I'll go ahead and we'll just take this, and then we'll turn it back to shading here. Now let's check, see what this is going to look like. So let's go to our cutters here and cut to ring rail. We'll select this here first and take that and hit enter. Yeah, that should be fine. I was just concerned about where this was going to be protruding out at. I don't want it to, you know, where it's not in a good place. So we'll take this here. All right. And then we'll just go ahead and do that boolean there. Well, before we do that boolean, let's go ahead and do some other work on it. So let's take all that yellow and we'll turn it to gray and turn it off. And we have the nice little rounded edges there. We don't have a nice little round edge here or around our top. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll go to fillet edge, we'll go to blend edge, and we'll just go ahead and chain edges. And then select this one, hit enter. 0.2 should be okay. And hit enter and then enter just to give it a little roundness there. And then let's go ahead and recall that and go back to chain edges again. And we'll take this thing here and do the same thing, just kind of clean it up a little, make it a little softer. All right. And hit enter. All right. And we should have a closed poly surface. Yes, okay. So we have this part pretty much finished. We'll just leave that. Well, we'll turn it off. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab that ring rail and let's go back to our gems and we'll do a gem on rail. And we'll change this one to a pear shape, right? And we're going to need to make that a little smaller, but let's go ahead and do some manipulation over here first. First thing I'm going to do is my rotation. I'm going to rotate it. And my offset, let's go to all viewports, make it easy. My offset, let's go ahead and get its size here. We'll take it down to maybe around 6 should be okay. And we'll just kind of drag it over somewhere around here maybe. And we'll drag it down maybe a little bit more. We just want that, you know, cut in there. Let's turn on this. Yeah, that should be okay. All right, and now we need to get it lined up, right? So we'll go to our angle and we'll kind of, oh, wrong angle, put that back to 0. Tilt, sorry, and we'll tilt that so it's kind of going as straight as possible. Something like that, perhaps, maybe a little bit more. Tilt, we'll go to 0 there. All right, so we have that there, and we'll just go ahead and take that. And now we'll go ahead and just put a head on this, settings, get a head, and we'll take that rail count down to 1. And overall height, let's bring those prongs down a little. Something like that. And overall height, we want to drag it down past our ring rail, right? And let's go to our rail there and location, our height, we're going to just bang that all the way up as high as we can go. But first I'm going to go ahead and change that profile, something like this here, a little bit more straight. What happened there? Wow. That's interesting. Huh. Okay, well, that doesn't matter. It's fine. We want to drag that. We can't drag it up anymore, so we'll have to come over here to our dynamic commands, and that is our height. So we'll just go in here and type in, let's see, we'll try 5.5 first. Hit enter. Yeah, that's probably okay, actually. Let's wait until... Yeah, that's probably all right. All right, and I'm not going to worry about cutting that, making that thinner. Well, maybe we should open that up. Thickness, let's open that up a little. And let's go ahead and hide that stone. Let's take a look at, that's good, okay. All right, so this should be okay, and we'll go ahead and hit enter. And now we'll go ahead and we will go back to cutters and go back to ring, cut to ring rail, and we'll hit this and hit enter, and then we'll hit enter. So we have this. Now we want to ungroup this. We don't need those prongs. We want it half channeled in there, right? It'll look a lot cleaner and a lot prettier. So we'll get rid of those. So we have something like that, right? And we should have probably brought that up a little bit more. I wonder if I can snap. let's take our stone and let's just do this. Z offset, bring it down a little. There we go. Something like that. All right. I should have brought that rail up a little bit more. It would have been probably better. But here we go. We've got this. All right, so right now we'll go back to that ring rail, and we're going to manipulate it over here in our dynamic commands. I'm going to bring that top up, so I'm just going to go, let's just go to all perspectives. I'm going to bring that top up some. I'm just watching the left side here, where I want that to go in at, right? So maybe something like that. This I'm not going to change, and the bottom I'm not going to change, so it's all still lined up, so we don't have to worry about that. We'll grab that. We'll go to our tools, profile placer. We'll go ahead and snap something different on there. We'll grab, let's see, something, let's see. I like that. Yeah, we'll do this one. And go ahead and accept it, and we want to drag this over to here somewhere, and we want to go ahead and rotate that so it kind of comes up like straight up in there, and then we'll need to manipulate it inside our item there, so about 2. What if I can get it a little larger? No, 2's okay. I will take it out just a little. Yeah, okay. And we need to snap that up to our top of our rail there. So it's up there, and then we're going to come down here at the bottom, and we are going to hold down shift and drop one right there. And this one I will drag out wider, maybe around a 4mm. And then hit enter, right? I'm just going to put those 2 rails out there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my solids, swing down here to extract surface. And I'm going to pick that surface right there, this one, and then hit enter and then delete it. And then I will go and I will duplicate those edges there, right? Hit enter and then join them together right away. And what color am I on there? I'm on green, I think. I will hit enter. And we'll change that to yellow. And let's go ahead and do this, might as well. Well, we'll just figure it out as we go. We'll go to rail, two rail sweep, or sweep 2. 1, 2, and we'll select this, not that. This profile in here. This profile and that profile, and we'll hit enter. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. And that looks okay. And let's see, let's turn this on. I don't want this one, and that is our start. So let's go ahead, mirror cap, no. Start dome, no. End cap, yeah, or end, yes. And then hit enter. And then we'll go ahead and take this and join them together. So we should have a closed polysurface. Yes, we do. And yeah, okay. Now let's go back and grab that cutter here. And let's go ahead and do that cut, see what that looks like. We'll do a Boolean difference. This will be our surface. Enter this, enter. Oh, okay. So I did a Boolean difference and they joined together. So that means the direction of a surface is off somewhere. So let's go ahead and select this here real quick and type in direction. They're all pointing out, so that should be okay. Maybe I did a Boolean union. Never mind. Okay, so select my first surface, enter, second surface, enter, and then we have this, right? And that looks okay. We'll take that and we'll get rid of this one. We'll just delete it. And then I want to go back and I want to clean up this a little bit, make it look more like what it's going to look like when it's set. So I'll go to where is it? Blend surface, and I'll chain my edges again. And I'll select that edge there, that edge, not that one, not that one, and this one, and hit enter. And point 2 should be fine, and then enter. So now I have it. It looks a little softer, right? A little bit better, I think. And you can also fillet this here too if you'd like. but we'll just go ahead and keep on moving. So right now we have something, you know, pretty good. You can probably go ahead and click off the video and do the rest yourself if you wanted to. But there's something I'd like to show. It might be pretty interesting for some of you. So I want to put some stones on here, but when I go to put my cutter on there, because I have to taper it here, I want it a little wider here, a little larger stone here, and smaller stone here. The cutters sometimes don't really do real good, so we want to make our own cutter, but there's a really cool way to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and extract me an ISO curve and put my stones out there first. So extract an ISO curve from this surface, and let's bump that in the center so it disappears, and we'll hit enter. We'll select that curve and we'll go to our gems, and we will go to place those stones. We will target object our shank there. Now we're going to drag these down all the way here to where it starts to go out, right? Something like that. And we'll drag these back, of course, something like this here. But, you know, it's a little too tight right in here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and go to our taper middle. We might have to taper our ends too. And we're just going to bump those a lot smaller. So it goes in like that, right? Now you can see it kind of comes down and gets real small and then gets bigger again. But the issue will be is when we go to put that cutter on there, right? So let's go ahead and let's inset those. So let's go up to our girdle placement and go to a table, and then we'll hit enter. So we accept that, and then we'll grab those stones. And let's go check this out and see if it does it. And we'll, cutters, sorry. Channel cutter. Yeah, see how it kind of, and you know, you could try going over to your middle profile count and bumping it out, but it makes it so wide. It's, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, it's just not for me, I don't think. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. Now I'm going to go to my front view here. Oh, whoa. And we'll kind of keep a look. I'm going to go ahead and take that yellow, and we'll just go ahead and hide it for right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my curves, and I'm going to grab me an arc direction, and I'm going to go down here and turn off my snaps, and I'm going to turn it to yellow. Now I'm going to place it before looking at the stones out here, kind of get an idea. But I'm going to place it, it's going to go to my C plane, somewhere around maybe here. And then I'm going to come down here to the bottom and place this one. Let's take a look real quick. Okay. Somewhere around maybe here. And then I'll do an arc direction from here, coming out. And this time I'll turn it so I can kind of see where I want it. I want to look at the larger stones more than I want to look at the smaller ones at this point to find out where I need it to come out. Okay, so that's way off my rail, right? So let's go ahead and select that and turn on our points, and we can manipulate this. It's kind of got too many points. So I'm going to take that curve, not the point, the curve, and I'm going to rebuild it. Degree 3, and I am going to drop those points all the way down to just 3 points. Make it very easy for me to manipulate. Okay, and it didn't really change the outcome so much. So I'm going to take this point here, and I'm going to drag it over, drag it up, something like that. And this one here, we'll need to drag that one maybe out just a little. And then this one is the one we really want to mess with. And we want to bring that in to where it's with those stones, right? Something like that. Let's go ahead and check. Maybe a little bit more. Something like that, right? All right. And then I'll just go ahead and take that, turn those points off. Well, this is a little off here. So maybe I did need those points. So let's go back and rebuild it again. And we'll take it to 5. 5 degree 3. All right, and I turn on those points, and that way I have this here I can manipulate, and we'll bring that out. We'll bring this, you kind of have to play around with it, but once you get it to where it's pretty close, we can manipulate it like crazy here in a little bit. So I need a nice little ledge there, right? Okay, so that looks maybe like something, because we can play around with this a little bit later. So let's go ahead and take that, and let's get rid of those points. And let's grab a right click back on our, well, we'll need to go back to our arc direction, and we need to do it on our other side, right? So looking up here, somewhere around maybe here, coming down here, somewhere around maybe, because we can, again, manipulate these, right? And then we need to drag this one in. Something like that. And now let's turn on these points, right? And this one's a degree, only 3 points. So let's see. Okay, this one first. We'll grab this one, and we want to grab it, pull it out a little. And we'll grab this one and pull it out a little. And now we'll deal with this in here. Something like that. All right, and that one is kind of a little shy there. So let's go back and grab that one. And let's take that point there and kind of drag it up a little higher. And let's grab this out just a little. We can probably bring this smaller one. Oh, wrong one. That one was fine. This one here. Yeah, well, let's go ahead and take this one and rebuild it to the 5, and then hit enter so we can play around with this one here. Let's turn off points real quick, and then I just want this one, and I'll turn them so I don't get them all confused here. Where's that? There it is. That point there. Yeah, there we go. Something like that. This we can probably drag in a little bit. Check this one out again. So let's grab this point here. And that looks better. Okay, let's go ahead and say that's probably pretty close. Let's take this, and we'll turn our snaps on, and we'll snap it to the end there and to the end here. And we'll come down here, and let's go ahead, take these two here real quick. Turn on points. Let's select these 2 points, and let's drag them over just a little. Okay, and we'll turn off those points, grab that line again, and make sure I snap to my end. Okay, and then we'll take all yellow here, we'll join it together. All right, and we'll turn back on our layer there. All right, and we'll go to all perspective so we can kind of keep an eye on it. And I'm gonna grab that yellow curve there, and I am going to use my parametric project. And at first it says to select objects to project. That'll be that yellow curve. Right here. Oh, project to, sorry. Take this, and we'll hit enter, and we want to, our front's activated, so we're going to change this to project to front, and then hit enter, and then there it projects it to our surface there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that curve, and I'm going to ungroup them because it's grouped to this one over here, and I don't want that. All right, so now I'm going to take that curve, and I am going to go to my surface and do a push-pull. And select my surface, and there we go. All right. Now the nice thing about this is, since it's all parametric, right, I can hit enter. And let's go ahead and hide this green here. Or let's take our green and hide it. Change it to our gray layer there. And we'll take that yellow and we'll change it to green. And I'm going to go in there and select that original curve, the one that's on the C plane, right? And then I am going to go back to my shaded view, sorry, and then turn on those points. So now I can go in here and I can even manipulate this even more. So I can bring that in and it'll update. See that edge coming in? It's going out the other way, so I need to bring it this way. There we go. It's a little too much. So I can kind of see it as I'm working with it just a little bit more. Okay, and then I can just grab this one here and we can manipulate this one in a little. Yeah, and a little bit more maybe. Yeah, there we go. So we have total control over that rail there, which is really cool, right? So we can make it as thick or do all kind of adjustments on it. And you could even grab those endpoints and change those ends up if you didn't like them. And this one here is a little hinky. So let's change it a little. Yeah, there we go. Maybe a little bit more, maybe out this way. Yeah. That's a little too thin, maybe. Not that much. There we go. All right, but you can play around with that all day long. I'm not going to waste your time, but that's how you can kind of get a nice smoother channel through there. And then really all you have to do now is go to settings, put your prongs on there, and you can change the depth of it or whatever. Let's see, height. Let's bring those up. I'm just going to say those are fine. Well, let's do a little larger there. Yeah, and we'll just say that's good. And then we can take this and we can take all of this and we can go to our transform, go to mirror, change to X, get rid of Y, and our stones are over here. And we'll just go ahead and hit enter, and then we'll grab that curve and we'll go back to our surface and do that push pull again and select our surface. And there you go. They're all on there, right? And then we'll go hide, right? Well, not hide. Sorry. Now there is one thing. That hole, right? It's got a big hole in there. So we want to take care of it. Let's change this back to green here. We don't want that nice and sharp. So we're going to go to our solids. Go down here to fillet, blend, turn on chain edges again. And we're going to just select that, and that, and we'll hit enter. 2 should be fine, just to clean it up a little bit so it's not so sharp, and we still have a closed poly surface. And the last thing is this little gap in here. We really don't want that gap, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and go to my tools and grab me a little profile, and maybe bring this in just a little. And then, of course, we don't need it so wide, so we'll take it down to maybe 1.7, maybe a little bit larger. We can manipulate this here in a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and snap one right here as well. And this one all angle. Not that much, maybe. Yeah. And then hit enter. And then we'll just go to our surface, do a surface, surface 1, and we'll select this here, that there, and that there, and hit enter, just to give it that, close that off, right? And we'll hit enter. Now if you want to, now we have a nice little connection there. Just close that up. It's not really going to affect the design too much, so I don't really mind it. And now if we hide our gemstones, we have a little protrusion on this side, right? So what we can do is we can take this item. Let's see, yeah, take this item, and we might want to go ahead, just in case, duplicate that in place, and I'll just turn it to red and turn it off just in case we lose it. And I'll go ahead, select this. We'll go to our solids, go to Boolean difference. This will be our cutter. Hit enter, and then I'll grab that thing, ungroup it, and then get rid of this piece here. There we go. And you're good to go. Let's turn on those stones again, and we are pretty much done. And you got a nice little ring here. And you can do all kind of design work in here. You could pave stones. You could do a cutout and put some engraving in there if you wanted to. There's a lot you could do with this ring. So hopefully this helps. And you can also fillet those edges around that head too. But there you go. I hope it helps. And if it does, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Appreciate your watching and your time. Good designing.